A great product that has great success, you look around and find out, is there something else we can do with that? Well, Tom Munson's here with Trijicon, and obviously the ACOG is known literally around the world, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the ACOG was first adopted by the Special Operations Forces in 1995. Then the Marine Corps adopted it Corps-wide in 2004. And then, so it's on every carbine in the Marine Corps, and then it's on about half the carbines in the U.S. Army. So a lot of people know the ACOG from the military side of it, as well as putting it on their personal ARs.
Sure.
So we've sold probably somewhere around 750,000 ACOGs since it was first invented.
And it's obviously known for being easy to use. That's one of the first things, but it's also super rugged, right?
Absolutely, it withstands the rigors of battle.
Okay, so we know that it works on rifles, and people know that, and you looked around and you say, well, what else can we put that on? So put that one away, and let's look at this thing. What's the idea of putting an ACOG on a crossbow, and what do you call this?
Well, this is our ACOG XB, so it's our ACOG designed for the crossbow.
XB is for crossbow.
Correct, yes. And actually what we did was we looked at the crossbow and we said, this is a market that is growing at a fantastic pace right now. What should we be doing in that market?
And a lot of states are making it possible for people to hunt with crossbows. Obviously, you have to check your own regulations because that's changing pretty rapidly.
Yeah, in almost all states you can hunt with a crossbow, but it's usually reserved for handicap. You have to have some sort of handicap. Right. But those regulations are quickly going away in many states where now anybody can grab a crossbow and hunt during certain seasons.
So what are the features on this that make it applicable for a crossbow?
That's a great question. So the crossbow is a unique piece of equipment. It has its own vibrations, it has its own shock, which is different than rifle shock. Mm-hmm. So you really have to find a scope that works for the crossbow. When we looked at the whole setup, we thought, you know what, a 3-power ACOG would probably work just fine, because as you mentioned, the ACOG is built to withstand battle.
Right, there's a lot of vibration things going on when you shoot
Exactly. This. So the ACOG was a great option. We looked at the 3-power, we said that's just enough. You know, you're not going to shoot a crossbow 400 yards.
No.
You're going to shoot somewhere between 20 and 80 to 100 yards, somewhere around there.
So 3-power is perfect.
3-power is perfect. You get enough field of view and it brings the animal close enough, so it's a perfect optic. What we decided to do with this particular ACOG was put a reticle in it that matches the crossbow. As you know, almost all the ACOGs have a built-in bullet drop compensator in the reticle. Right. So for a 223 or a 308, depending upon your carbine setup. Well, we put a built-in bolt compensator.
A BDC, but it's a bolt.
Yes.
Bolt being an arrow for a crossbow.
Correct.
A bolt drop compensator.
In this particular optic. So when you look at this reticle, you'll see that the main crossbar is where you put the belly of the deer or the elk on it.
Okay.
And then we have special calibrated lines in there where you put on the back of the elk or the deer. And it tells you whether that animal is 20, 30, 40, 50 yards away.
So it's got a rangefinder built in.
It's got a rangefinder built in.
And then you just put the correct crossbar on it, hold on.
Pull the trigger.
There it is. Real simple. So you have ruggedness, accuracy, and of course you have the light gathering for your reticle right here.
Of course, like all ACOGs, yes, it's fiber optic and tritium, no batteries. There are some states that won't allow battery optics, so this passes that test, and so it makes for a great crossbow optic.
The ACOG XB.
Correct.
For crossbow.
Crossbows are so cool. Well, they're cool because they're so powerful. And if you're going to have power, you might as well have a magnified optic, let you shoot at some distance. And this Trijicon crossbow sight is very cool. It's the same ACOG technology, but for a crossbow. What could be better? So we're going to shoot this on target and just see how it works. That's a dead deer. Now, of course, you have to have a good rest and be confident that you can hit your target at this distance. So let's back it up just a little bit more and see if we can get a good shot. We've backed up to 70 yards. Now let's see if we can get a good hit on this target using the reticle on this Trijicon. Dead deer. You know, having magnification for your crossbow and being able to range your target without taking your head off the sights and being able to stay on that animal is just a great solution that Trijicon's come up with.